When life feels heavy and the unseen battles grow stronger, there comes a moment when you must remember who stands with you. There comes a moment when you must remind your spirit that darkness may come close, but it cannot cross the line drawn by divine authority. You are not placed in this world unprotected, unguarded, or uncovered. Over your life, over your family, over your destiny, there is a spiritual boundary that no evil force can cross. This boundary was not made by human strength, but by a power far greater than fear, doubt, or darkness. There are seasons when the enemy tries to whisper in your mind, tries to shake your confidence, tries to make you believe you are vulnerable and unprotected. But you must rise and remember, there is a bloodline around you, a spiritual covering that darkness cannot step over. The attacks may appear, the storms may rise, the pressure may build, but the enemy cannot touch what has been sealed by the divine. You are not fighting alone. You are walking under a protection that cannot be broken, cannot be weakened, and cannot be crossed. Every time fear tries to enter your heart, this bloodline stops it. Every time doubt tries to settle in your mind, this bloodline pushes it back. Every time darkness tries to touch your destiny, this bloodline becomes a wall the enemy cannot climb. You may feel the wind of the storm, but you will never be swallowed by it. You may hear the noise of the battle, but it will not consume you. You may sense the presence of negativity, but it cannot enter your spirit because the divine covering around you is stronger than everything trying to come against you. You stand under a sacred protection that existed long before the attack and will remain long after the attack is gone. And today, your spirit must rise and understand that you are untouchable when covered by this power, unstoppable when standing within this border, and unbreakable when the divine has marked your life with a line the devil cannot cross. Faith in the divine bloodline is a force stronger than any attack, any strategy, or any darkness that may try to approach your life. The moment you understand that your life, your family, and your destiny are protected by a line that evil cannot cross, everything changes. Many people live unaware of the spiritual boundaries surrounding them, and they walk through life exposing themselves to fear, doubt, and anxiety. Darkness often targets the mind and heart first because these are the entry points. When your thoughts are scattered, when your emotions are unstable, and when your spirit is uncertain, it creates cracks in your armor. But those who understand the power of the bloodline do not fear the enemy. They know that no matter how close evil comes, it cannot penetrate the protection surrounding them. This bloodline is not symbolic. It is a real spiritual boundary established by divine authority, and it acts like a force field around your life. The more you anchor yourself in belief, trust, and spiritual awareness, the stronger this boundary becomes, and the weaker the enemy grows in influence. The strength of this divine protection is not based on what you do or how strong you feel. It is not earned through rituals, objects, or ceremonies. It is inherited through the alignment of your spirit with a higher power. From the moment you acknowledge this authority, the attacks that once seemed powerful begin to lose their energy. Fear loses its grip, anxiety becomes weaker, confusion begins to clear, the enemy may attempt to approach, but it hits an invisible wall it cannot cross. Every negative intention, every harmful plan, every attack meant to harm you is stopped at the boundary. The moment the enemy senses the presence of this bloodline, it retreats because it cannot override the protection that surrounds you. Even if the darkness seems overwhelming, or even if circumstances appear threatening, the divine covering ensures that you are untouchable at your core. The enemy may create illusions, pressure your mind, or whisper fear, but the reality is that nothing can break through this sacred boundary. Many people struggle because they focus on the wrong things, believing that protection comes from external sources. They try to control their environment, manipulate situations, or defend themselves in ways that only expose them to more influence. But the truth is, real protection begins from within. It begins by understanding your alignment, your spiritual inheritance, and the power that runs through your bloodline. When you embrace this, your thoughts become sharper, Your emotions become steadier. Your decisions become wiser. The enemy cannot enter the spaces where divine authority is present because the energy itself repels darkness. The bloodline acts as both shield and fortress, a constant reminder that nothing evil has the right to touch what has been marked as sacred. Understanding this principle transforms the way you experience life. You no longer react to every attack or feel defeated by every challenge. Instead, you rise above, knowing that every obstacle is contained outside the protective line. You begin to move through life with confidence, clarity, and courage because you know the enemy cannot touch your spirit. Even if the world seems chaotic or unpredictable, the bloodline remains firm. It is unmovable. It is unshakable. Every time doubt tries to enter, the divine authority within your bloodline pushes it back. Every time fear attempts to grow, the spiritual covering extinguishes it. The strength of this protection is constant, unwavering, and eternal, giving you the ability to face life boldly, to walk in peace, and to operate in freedom. The divine bloodline is not just a spiritual concept. It is a living, active force that surrounds your life, your family, and your destiny, with protection that cannot be broken by evil. Every attack, every harmful intention, every attempt to influence your path meets this invisible barrier and fails. Many people underestimate the power of this protection because it cannot always be seen with physical eyes, but its effects are undeniable. Those who are connected to it notice that challenges may come, but they do not pierce the heart or the spirit. They may encounter trials, but the trials cannot destroy their essence. Darkness may try to whisper fear, doubt, or despair, but the bloodline acts as a filter that only allows truth, light, and divine guidance to reach the soul. The moment you fully recognize this protection, your perspective changes. You stop seeing the enemy as powerful and begin to see it as limited, contained, and unable to cross the sacred line that surrounds you. This protection is strongest when you align your actions, thoughts, and spirit with the divine authority behind the bloodline. It is not enough to simply know it exists. You must internalize it, believe it, and operate from a place of conscious trust in its strength. When your faith is strong, the bloodline becomes more than a concept. It becomes a tangible force in your life. You begin to feel a difference in your energy. You notice that negativity bounces off you instead of affecting you. You recognize that harmful influences cannot attach themselves to your mind or heart. The enemy may approach, but it cannot cross the barrier you are standing within. Even when the world seems full of hostility, deceit, or jealousy, your spirit remains untouched because it is anchored to a higher power that darkness cannot overcome. The moment you embrace this truth, fear begins to fade. Anxiety loses its grip. Confusion is replaced with clarity. You begin to walk through life with a confidence that is rooted in divine protection rather than human effort. Many attacks fail not because the enemy is weak, but because the bloodline is strong. It is a force that works constantly, whether you feel it or not, repelling negativity and keeping your path clear. People often spend their lives trying to fight forces they cannot see, unaware that the real protection is already in place, invisible but effective. The divine bloodline acts like a spiritual shield, a fortress, and a wall that evil cannot scale. Every harmful thought, every curse, every negative word aimed at you is stopped before it reaches your spirit. The enemy may try to find weaknesses, but there are none where faith, alignment, and awareness exist. Darkness is limited in its reach because it cannot cross what has been ordained as sacred. Even when circumstances appear threatening, the core of your being is untouched, secure, and free from manipulation. Understanding this changes everything about how you live, move, and respond to life. The awareness of a protected bloodline gives a person clarity and courage. You no longer waste energy reacting to attacks, defending yourself unnecessarily, or feeling overwhelmed by negativity. Instead, you operate from a position of strength, knowing that everything attempting to harm you is stopped at the line before it touches your life. Your thoughts remain clear, your decisions wise, and your spirit calm because you are aware of the unseen forces working in your favor. Challenges may exist, but they no longer define you or control you. You begin to understand that your protection is constant, unwavering, and eternal. The bloodline cannot be broken by jealousy, greed, manipulation, or darkness. It is a spiritual truth that empowers, shields, and guides, giving you the freedom to walk boldly, live courageously, and move forward without fear. It teaches the mind to trust, the heart to remain calm, and the spirit to rise above every negative attempt to influence it. The strength of a protected bloodline is not only in the barrier it creates, but also in the way it transforms the life of the person who walks within it. Every person who understands this protection begins to see life differently. Challenges that once caused panic or despair now become opportunities to rely on something greater than themselves. The bloodline acts as a spiritual anchor, keeping the soul steady even when storms rage around it. Many people try to fight negative forces using their own strength, their own strategies, or external tools. But these efforts often fail because they are disconnected from the true source of power. When you realize that your life is enveloped by divine protection, you stop relying on human effort alone. You start to operate from a place of spiritual authority, knowing that every attack that approaches is limited by the sacred line surrounding you. This awareness brings calm, clarity, and courage because you no longer see evil as a threat, but as something contained, something it cannot overcome, something that cannot cross the line, protecting your life. Protection through the bloodline also strengthens the mind. The mind becomes sharper, more focused, and able to distinguish between what is harmful and what is safe. Many people suffer because they let fear, worry, and doubt cloud their thinking. They allow negative intentions to influence their decisions and actions, but when the bloodline's protection is acknowledged and embraced, the mind is no longer easily deceived. Illusions created by fear or envy are seen for what they are. Lies and manipulation lose their power. Every thought that tries to destabilize your spirit encounters a barrier it cannot cross. The bloodline trains the mind to operate in alignment with divine truth, giving clarity even in complex or confusing situations. It allows you to make decisions without being swayed by negativity. Every choice becomes guided, and every step is supported by an authority greater than what the enemy can influence. The heart also experiences transformation through the bloodline. When a heart is aligned with this protection, it becomes unshakable. It cannot be broken by jealousy, hate, or ill intentions. Emotions that once caused vulnerability are now balanced by the understanding that no harm can reach the core of your being. This balance produces peace even in the middle of chaos, courage even when confronted by adversity, and confidence even when faced with opposition. People with protected hearts act from strength rather than fear. They respond with clarity rather than impulsivity. They walk in faith rather than panic. The heart's alignment with divine protection ensures that negativity cannot attach itself to emotional weaknesses because these weaknesses are filled with light, filled with faith, and filled with the energy of a bloodline that evil cannot penetrate. Spiritual awareness is another gift of walking within this protected bloodline. Awareness allows a person to sense danger without being consumed by it. It allows you to detect harmful intentions without fear or anxiety. The bloodline teaches the spirit to rise above attempts to manipulate or deceive, allowing you to operate in freedom. It provides discernment, intuition, and wisdom that the enemy cannot overcome. Every attack becomes visible as limited, every harmful intention becomes powerless, and every attempt to influence your life becomes contained. Awareness within the protection of the bloodline allows you to live with confidence, to act with clarity, and to walk forward without hesitation. The spiritual strength cultivated through this protection ensures that negativity cannot slow you down, cannot block your path, and cannot dim the light that runs through your life. When a person truly embraces the protection of the bloodline, they begin to live differently. Life is no longer approached with fear, uncertainty, or doubt. Challenges are met with courage, obstacles are navigated with faith, attacks are faced with calm authority. The bloodline empowers the mind, strengthens the heart, and sharpens awareness. It teaches the spirit that no evil can penetrate, no darkness can cross, and no negativity can dominate. Every step taken in alignment with this protection reinforces the truth that your life, your family, and your destiny are untouchable at the core. This understanding allows you to walk boldly, to move confidently, and to rise above every attempt to weaken your spirit, because the enemy cannot cross the sacred lines surrounding you. When you understand the divine protection of your bloodline, you begin to rise above every attack, every influence, and every attempt to weaken your spirit, because your energy is aligned with something far greater than what the enemy can wield. Darkness may attempt to approach, but it cannot cross the sacred line that surrounds your life, your family, and your destiny. Many people live their lives unaware of this protection, reacting to every negative word, every harmful intention, and every challenging circumstance as if they are threats capable of breaking them. But those who recognize the power of the bloodline realize that true safety is not found in avoiding challenges or controlling circumstances, but in knowing that every force that comes against you is contained by a higher authority. This understanding transforms how you walk, how you speak, and how you respond to life, because you no longer operate from fear, but from a place of divine empowerment. Rising above every evil requires clarity of mind. When you see the world through spiritual understanding, you no longer allow harmful energy to manipulate your thoughts or actions. Clarity is the lens that reveals truth from deception, light from shadow, and protection from danger. Many people suffer because they see only what is visible in the physical world, unaware of the spiritual boundary that guards their soul. But when clarity is combined with faith, the mind becomes a shield, discerning even the subtle attempts of darkness to influence your path. You begin to act wisely, to think strategically, and to respond to situations with confidence, because you know that every evil that approaches is powerless to cross the line protecting you. You are no longer vulnerable to fear, doubt, or manipulation, because your awareness is strengthened by the protection inherent in your bloodline. Purity of heart is another key element in rising above darkness. Purity does not require perfection. It requires intention, alignment, and sincerity. When your heart operates from purity, it produces an energy that darkness cannot attach to. Jealousy, hatred, bitterness, and negative intentions are neutralized because they cannot penetrate a heart that is clear, focused, and aligned with divine guidance. The more you maintain purity in your thoughts, actions, and emotions, the stronger your protection becomes. Darkness loses its grip because there is no space for it to attach, no vulnerability to exploit, and no weakness to overcome. A pure heart resonates at a higher frequency, one that is incompatible with evil influence. Every attempt to manipulate or harm you fails because the heart itself is a fortress that evil cannot penetrate, a sanctuary where divine protection reigns. Faith is the final force that allows you to rise above every evil. Faith connects you to the ultimate source of power, the force that has established the sacred line around your life. It is not dependent on circumstances, human approval, or material protection. Faith provides a constant, unshakable confidence that no darkness can overcome. When faith is strong, it reinforces clarity and purity, creating a spiritual triad that the enemy cannot break. You begin to walk boldly, speak confidently, and act decisively because you know that the boundary established by your bloodline is unbreakable. You no longer fear attempts to manipulate, intimidate, or harm you because your faith is the force that freezes evil in its place. The The combination of clarity, purity, and faith transforms your life, allowing you to move forward with courage and unshakable resolve. Living under the protection of the bloodline changes everything. You no longer allow negativity to control your emotions, dictate your choices, or cloud your vision. You begin to see life from a higher perspective, understanding that what approaches you may appear threatening, but it is limited in its power. You rise above every attempt to weaken your spirit, knowing that your energy, your heart, and your mind are shielded by something far stronger than human understanding. Every time darkness tries to influence your life, it encounters the sacred line that cannot be crossed. Every time fear tries to dominate your thoughts, it is pushed back by the alignment of your spirit. Every time evil attempts to control your path, it is powerless against the divine protection surrounding you, giving you confidence, strength, and freedom to live boldly. No force can touch a life protected by the divine bloodline because the heart, mind, and spirit are surrounded by a boundary that darkness cannot cross. Every attempt to influence, manipulate, or harm is stopped before it reaches the soul. Many people underestimate the power of this protection because it cannot be seen with physical eyes, but its effects are felt in every part of life. You may encounter challenges, negative intentions, or opposition, yet none of these can penetrate the sacred line guarding your existence. Even when the world around you seems chaotic, your inner life remains untouchable because it is aligned with a power far greater than any human or spiritual attack. The enemy may attempt to strike, but it is limited, constrained, and ultimately powerless in the presence of the bloodline's authority. Understanding this creates confidence, courage, and peace because you realize that your life is not vulnerable, your path is not unprotected, and your spirit cannot be overrun. A heart guarded by divine strength operates differently than a heart left unprotected. It moves through life with clarity, decisiveness, and freedom. Negative words, harmful intentions, and evil strategies cannot find a foothold because they meet an invisible barrier designed to stop them. Many people waste energy trying to defend themselves against attacks that could never reach them if they understood their spiritual protection. The bloodline is a force field that automatically neutralizes attempts to manipulate or harm your life. Even subtle influences that would normally affect emotions, thoughts, or decisions are filtered out, leaving the mind and heart focused, calm, and strong. This protection extends beyond personal safety. It guides your decisions, sharpens your intuition, and strengthens your spirit in ways that make you unshakable. The mind of someone protected by this divine bloodline becomes a fortress. Fear cannot dominate it, doubt cannot infiltrate it, and confusion cannot cloud it. The mental clarity that comes from recognizing the power of your protection allows you to make decisions with wisdom and confidence. You begin to see situations as they truly are, not as they appear through the lens of fear or anxiety. Attempts to mislead or deceive lose power because your mind operates at a higher level of awareness aligned with divine truth. Every plan designed to trap or manipulate you fails because it cannot pass the boundary that has been placed around your life. Awareness becomes a weapon, discernment becomes a shield, and wisdom becomes a natural effect of walking within the bloodline's protection. The heart is similarly transformed. Emotional resilience emerges because nothing evil can attach itself to the core of your being. Envy, jealousy, hate, and manipulation all bounce off because the heart is aligned with divine power and operates in harmony with protection that cannot fail. This does not mean challenges do not appear, but rather that they cannot reach the essence of who you are. A protected heart remains steady in adversity, calm in conflict, and confident in the face of attempts to destabilize it. Emotional control becomes natural because the spiritual energy flowing through your bloodline strengthens your heart against every influence seeking to weaken it. Peace becomes the default state, not because the world is calm, but because the protection surrounding you is constant and unwavering. Faith amplifies the effects of this protection. connecting your spirit to the ultimate source of authority. The combination of faith, clarity, and purity creates a triad of strength that evil cannot penetrate. Every time fear, doubt, or negativity tries to rise, it is met with the force of divine alignment. Your steps become guided, your voice becomes strong, and your decisions become unshakable. The protection of the bloodline ensures that attacks lose power, darkness loses influence, and the enemy cannot cross the line drawn around your life. This sacred boundary creates a life of confidence, peace, and unstoppable spiritual authority because every harmful intention is stopped before it can reach your heart, mind, or spirit. Every force designed to harm, every shadow attempting to dominate, and every attack meant to disrupt is powerless against the divine covering that surrounds you.